Hello everyone, welcome to my UG English channel. Today we are going to learn about a beautiful poem written by Rabindranath Tagore titled Where the Mind is Without Fear. It is part of our UG English Sem 5 Unit 2. So without wasting time, we will quickly move into the poem. This is a background of the poem. This poem was written during the British rule in the year 1900. Before we got independence from the Britishers. The original title of the poem is Prarthana. It is published as, later it was published as Where the Mind is Without Fear. So this poem was published in the 1901 in the poetry collection of Naivedya, that is offerings. So later this poem was included in Chitto Jeta Baya Shunyu. So this is in Gitanjali. It's part of in Gitanjali. It is called a song of offerings. So in 1910, as you all know, this Gitanjali received a Nobel Prize for this tremendous work. And the other name of this poem is Poem 35. Simply the poem is also known as Poem 35, or we can call it as the Prarthana poem, or the other title is Where the Mind is Without Fear. So this is a beautiful poem. As we have discussed, this is a prayer song for the God, and this is one of the most anthologized poem of the Tagore, that is mostly quoted poem. ఎక్కువ సార్లు ఎక్కువ మంది దీన్ని ఈ పోయంని ఠాగూర్ యొక్క అద్భుతమైన రచనగా తీసుకున్నటువంటి పోయం. అండ్ దిస్ పోయం ఇస్ టాక్ అబౌట్ ద Tagore's vision about the new India, and this poem is a political one, an intellectual and spiritual freedom. It talks about political, intellectual and spiritual freedom for the Indians. So Indians at the time of 1900, they were under the rule of British government. So ane main ఆలోచన ఏముందంటే పొలిటికల్గా ఫ్రీడమ్ అవ్వాలి ఫ్రమ్ బ్రిటిషర్స్, అట్లనే ఇంటలెక్చువల్గా అంటే పాత బిలీఫ్స్, ఓల్డ్ బిలీఫ్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో, సూపర్ స్టిషన్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో, మూఢనమ్మకాల నుంచి బయటకు రావాలి. అట్లనే స్పిరిచువల్ ఫ్రీడమ్ అంటే రిలీజియస్ క్లచెస్, అంటే రకరకాల మూఢనమ్మకాలు మతపరమైన కానీ తర్వాత సామాజిక పరమైన నుంచి కానీ సోషల్ ఈవిల్స్ నుంచి బయటకు రావాలని కోరుకున్నాడు. సో దిస్ ఇస్ అదర్ ఇంపాక్ట్. అండ్ దిస్ పోయం talks about the concept of unity, fraternity and brotherhood, and this was written 128 years ago. 120 సంవత్సరాల కింద రాసినప్పటికీ కూడా this poem is even relevant today. So this is about the background of the poem, and coming to the author introduction, and he is the one who received Nobel Prize in 1913, and he is the first non-European to receive this prize. He is a Bengal poet, novelist and educator, and also dramatist. He surrendered his knighthood in protest of Jallianwala Bagh massacre in 1919, and he is the only one to pen national anthems, that is two national anthems for two countries. One is for India, that is Jana Gana Mana, and for Bangladesh, that is Amar Shonar Bangla. So his famous writings are Gitanjali, Ghora, Gare Bhairi, The Home in the World, and he established Shantiniketan School. As you all know, he is a famous educationist also. So Where the Mind is Without Fear, as we know, it's a famous poem of Rabindranath Tagore. It's a very, very simple and beautiful poem. This is a poem. So I just quickly go through the lines of the poem, and I will explain what is his intention before we get the freedom. So the first wish of the poet is where the mind is without fear and head is held high. So he wished that every Indian should live without any fear, that is with freedom, and he should be very proud at his own profession, at his own life. He should not be a slave to anyone. So he should be living with pride. And he also wished about the free knowledge to every citizen of India. That is what our government are still striving to provide. ఇప్పటికీ ఇంకా పూర్తిగా సాధ్యం కానటువంటి అంశం ఏది. సో దిస్ విజన్ 120 సంవత్సరాల విజన్ ఇంకా తనది పూర్తి అవ్వలేదని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. అండ్ దిస్ ఇస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, వేర్ ద వరల్డ్ హ్యాస్ నాట్ బీన్ బ్రోకెన్ అప్ ఇన్ టు ఫ్రాగ్మెంట్స్ బై నారో డొమెస్టిక్ వాల్స్. సో ఈ రోజు వరకు మనం చూసినట్టయితే ద సొసైటీ హ్యాస్ డివైడెడ్ బై మెనీ నారో డొమెస్టిక్ వాల్స్. These walls are invisible walls. So they may be walls of racism, walls of gender bias, walls of religion, walls of several isms. So the people nowadays are united. They look like united, but they are divided by many isms, many domestic walls. But the Rabindranath Tagore's wish was his country should not be divided, should not be broken into fragments. So this was a dream of the Rabindranath Tagore 120 years ago. And he also wished that where words come out of from the truth, from the depth of truth, that means all the citizens of India should speak only truth. They must be loyal. And he wished that there should not be any corruption in India. So all people should follow the truth. But if we see this wish, so ఇది ఇంకా కూడా 120 సంవత్సరాల తర్వాత కూడా మనకి ఇంకా సాధించలేని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. అండ్ ఆల్సో హీ విష్డ్ దట్ వేర్ tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. So striving, struggling, so completely without any without any break. So tireless striving, continuous struggles towards, one struggle should be towards achieving perfection. It should stretch its arms towards the perfection. That means every citizen of India should achieve some perfection in their own field. He may be a lawyer, he may be a teacher, he may be a doctor, he may be a farmer, he may be a cobbler, or he may be a tailor. So every Indian should achieve some perfection in their own fields. It also talks about living the head high. That means living without dependent on anyone. So with some perfection, some skill in the life. He also wished that where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert of sand, sand of dead habit. So it's very interesting line. So the stream of reason, here the reason, the scientific reason, the logical reasoning is compared to a stream. It's a continuous flowing stream, a river or a canal. And the dead habits, the outdated practices of the society are compared to a dreary desert sand. So here what he wished is our reason should flow continuously. That means our scientific knowledge should work without any breaks, and it should not be stopped with our dead habits. That means outdated practices or superstitions or wrong beliefs. And has a stream lost its way in the desert. ఎట్లయితే ఒక ఎడారిలో ఒక కెనాల్, ఒక నది ఇంకిపోతుందో, కాలువ ఇంకిపోతుందో, ఆ విధంగా మన ఆలోచనలు ఇంకిపోకూడదు. అంటే మన ప్రాక్టీసెస్ అనేది డెడ్ హ్యాబిట్స్గా మారిపోకూడదు. అండ్ అవుట్డేటెడ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ మనం చేయకూడదు. ఎవ్రీ వన్ షుడ్ అచీవ్ సమ్ పర్ఫెక్షన్ ఇన్ ద లైఫ్ అనేది ఆయన కోరుకున్నాడు. అండ్ ఎవ్రీ వన్ షుడ్ ఫాలో ద రీజన్, ఫాలో ద మైండ్, ఫాలో ద scientific knowledge without believing on the dead habits or superstitions. And where the mind is led forward by thee means you, into ever widening thought and action. So the thought and action should go hand in hand. అతను ఏం కోరుకున్నాడంటే అందరి యొక్క ఆలోచన అలానే పనులు రెండు కూడా ఒకే దారిలో. సో థాట్ అండ్ యాక్షన్ షుడ్ గో హ్యాండ్ ఇన్ హ్యాండ్. దట్ మీన్స్ దే షుడ్ come with each other. So without I mean deviating from the thought. So action should follow the thought. Ante manam if we speak something and if we do something, there is no relation between them. So what we preach should be in our action. So this was his wish. And finally he wishes that into that heaven or freedom, so into that country, into that heaven, my father, that means it maybe he is praying his God or praying the Almighty, let my country awake into that heaven of freedom. సో అటువంటి దేశంలోకి నాకు స్వతంత్రం ఇవ్వు, అటువంటి హెవెన్ వైపు నా దేశాన్ని నడిపించు అని కోరుకున్నాడు. సో వెరీ క్లియర్ అండ్ వెరీ సింపుల్ పోయం. సో ఇన్ ద ఫస్ట్ లైన్ ఐ విల్ క్విక్లీ రీక్యాప్చులేట్ వన్స్. హీ విష్డ్ ఫర్ a mind without fear and one who lives with his head held high, that means living in pride without surrendering to anyone, without any slavery, without any subordinate thing. That means living with some pride, living with some skills. And he also wished that every person should get a free knowledge. He also wished that the India should not be broken into pieces, should not be broken into domestic walls, by narrow domestic walls like different isms, different castes, different religions, race, gender, and whatever it is. And he also wished that every person of India should speak truth. And he also wished that every person should get some skill, some perfection in their own fields. And he also wished that the people of India should follow the stream of reason, the scientific achievement, or the knowledge without any superstitions. And he also wished that the thought and action should go hand in hand. So into that type of country, into that type of heaven, he wished his country to be awake. So this is a beautiful poem written by Ravindranath Tagore. And the themes of this poem, we quickly recapitulate the themes. One is about freedom. So he is wishing to get freedom soon. So this poem was written in pre-independence era, that is in 1900. So about the India's vision, the vision of India. And this is very important. And the second one is desire for unity. So we can see the line where the country was not broken into small pieces, small fragments. So nowadays India or other countries are dividing by their color, their religions, their language, their area. So there are several isms were playing a crucial roles in dividing the people. So he thought that this division should not be allowed in his country. And he also wished that reason should follow the rationality, and reason and rationality should be there. So the people should think, the people should follow the logic, the people should follow the science instead of following the blind faiths and superstitions. And he also thought that his society should be free from the evils, free from the evils, that is people keep lying to each other, or people cheating each other, or corruption. It should not be happen in the country. So this is one of his wishes. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching for this video. And this is part of your UG SEM 5 Unit 2. So if you listen to this video, you can easily write the answer for the question. Thank you for watching. And I will provide a link to download this entire summary in PDF format in the description of this video. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you.